From the National Newsroom of the Canadian Press, I'm Rob Westgate. If you're vacationing with Air Canada, you may want to check with the air carrier before heading to your local airport. Officials say preparations for a potential pilot strike next week could disrupt services today, including cargo and vacation packages. Starting Sunday, the airline and pilots will be able to issue a 72-hour notice of a strike or a lockout. Air Canada has said the notice would trigger its 3-day wind-down plan and start the clock on a full work stoppage. Meantime, a major American aircraft manufacturer is dealing with a strike by its assembly line workers. The unionized machinists walked off the job at a Boeing factory near Seattle after voting overwhelmingly to reject a tentative contract that would have increased their wages by 25% over 4 years. The strike started just past midnight local time, and that was less than 3 hours after the local branch of the International Association of Machinists and Aerospace Workers approved the work stoppage with 96% support. The town of Devon, Alberta, has adopted a new code of conduct that residents must follow when they interact with town staff. Tyler Gandam, the mayor of Wetaskiwin, Alberta, and the president of Alberta Municipalities, says he supports any effort to make the municipal workplace safer.
I mean, the old adage, the customer is always right. Doesn't work when somebody's mistreating you, yelling at you, swearing at you, or threatening you in any way.
Devon's new policy allows the town to limit how residents can interact with town staff if they repeatedly harass, threaten, or otherwise mistreat the workers. Recently tabled Ontario Government Commission polling suggests that one of the largest factors standing in the way of Ontario speeding up critical infrastructure projects is a sense of public distrust due to the Greenbelt scandal. Now, the Greenbelt was frequently cited several months after the Auditor General and the Integrity Commissioner found that the government's process to remove 15 parcels of land from the Greenbelt to build 50,000 homes favored certain developers. Premier Doug Ford ultimately reversed his decision and returned the parcels of land, but the RCMP has launched a criminal investigation. And finally, a crew from the Fisheries Department spent 4 days off the northern BC coast freeing a humpback whale that was completely entangled with fishing gear. Paul Cottrell, a marine mammal coordinator with the department, says the whale was in very poor shape when they found it.
We didn't even know how to start on this animal because it was so constricted. Its mouth was closed with 2 wraps around the head, and there was ropes through the mouth, around the body, around both pecs. So it was a real challenge. And we really didn't know where to start, given that it was just wrapped up all over.
Cottrell says they'll be watching to see how the animal progresses. This is the Canadian Press. In sports, Montreal Alouettes wide receiver Tyson Philpott will be out for the rest of the season. He injured his foot in a 33-23 win over the Hamilton Tiger Cats back on August 10th and was placed on the 6-game injured list. The 24-year-old had 58 receptions, 779 yards, and 5 touchdowns in 9 contests for the league-leading Alouettes in his 3rd season. Meanwhile, James Cook caught a touchdown pass and ran for 2 scores as the Buffalo Bills routed Miami 31-10, with Dolphins quarterback Tua Tagovailoa leaving early because of a concussion. The development, of course, casting doubt on his season after a history of dealing with head injuries. And Canada's Marina Stikusic is moving on to the quarterfinals of the Guadalajara Open. The Mississauga, Ontario native defeated the tournament's top seed, Yelena Ostapenko of Latvia, in the round of 16 on Thursday. From the Canadian Press, I'm Rob Westgate.
Thanks for listening. Don't forget to follow and subscribe. For more of today's top stories, visit thecanadianpressnews.ca.